Wake up. Look at your bank account right now. Open the app. I will wait. What do you see? Do you see freedom? Do you see power? Or do you see fear? Do you see a number that dictates what you can eat, where you can go, and who you can be? If you're listening to this, it is because you are tired of the slow lane. You have been told the same lie your entire life. Go to school, get a safe job, save 10% of your paycheck, and maybe, just maybe, when you're 65 years old and your knees give out, you can finally afford to sit on a beach. I'm here to tell you that is a scam. Welcome to Money Speedrun. I'm your host, and I'm not here to be your friend. I'm here to be your strategist. I'm here to shave 20 years off your retirement date. We do not have time for slow and steady. Slow is risky. Slow is dangerous. In this economy, slow is dead. Today, we are doing something different. This is not a 10-minute tip. This is a 1-hour masterclass. Over the next 60 minutes, I'm going to walk you through the 30-day financial hard reset. By the time this hour is up, you will have a blueprint, not a wish list. A blueprint. You will know exactly how to strip your expenses down to the bone, how to squeeze every ounce of capital out of your current life, and how to deploy that capital into a business that generates cash flow. We are going to cover 3 pillars today. 1. The bleed stop. How to reclaim $1,000 a month you did not know you had. 2. The capital injection. How to generate immediate cash without a loan. 3. The launchpad. Starting a service business with zero upfront cost. Tonight. Put your phone on, do not disturb. If you are driving, focus on the road but keep your mind open. If you are at the gym, add weight to the bar. We are about to begin. Before we touch the math, we have to fix the machine. The machine is your brain. Most people stay poor because they have a consumer mindset. When they see money, they think, what can I buy with this? Oh, I got a $500 bonus. I can buy a new watch. I can upgrade my phone. That is the thinking of a prey animal. You are feeding the system. You need to switch to a producer mindset. When a producer sees money, they think, how can I use this to buy more money? I got a $500 bonus. That is $500 of soldiers. I can send those soldiers out to capture more soldiers. You need to understand the concept of the velocity of money. In the traditional world, money sits still. It sits in a savings account earning 0.01% interest. That is stagnant water. Stagnant water breeds disease. In finance, stagnant money breeds poverty because inflation is eating it alive every single second. Speed is the key. You need your money moving. You earn it, you keep it, you deploy it, it comes back with friends. Repeat. This next hour is going to feel uncomfortable. I am going to ask you to do things that your friends will say are crazy. I am going to ask you to cut expenses that you think you need. I am going to ask you to work hours that you think are unfair. But remember this, normal results come from normal behavior. If you want extraordinary results, if you want to be free while your friends are still complaining about their boss, you must do extraordinary things. Are you ready? Let us get into the tactical. Step 1 of the 30-day hard reset is the audit. You cannot manage what you do not measure. This is a cliche for a reason. Most of you have no idea where your money goes. You think you do. You say, oh, I spend about $400 on groceries. No, you do not. You spend $400 on groceries, plus $150 on quick runs to the convenience store, plus $80 on coffee, plus $200 on food delivery because you were too tired to cook. You are leaking capital everywhere. Here is your assignment for the first 10 minutes of this process. I want you to download your bank statements for the last 90 days. Not just the last month, 3 months. Why? Because you lie to yourself. You will look at last month and say, oh, that was a special month. It was my birthday. No, we need an average. Print them out. I want you to physically print them out. Get a red pen. You are going to circle every single transaction that did not keep you alive or make you money. Rent, keep it. Utilities, keep it. Basic groceries, keep it. Netflix, red circle. Spotify, red circle. That gym membership you haven't used in 6 weeks, red circle. The drink at the bar, red circle. You are going to look at that paper and it will look like a murder scene. It will be covered in red ink. That is your future bleeding out on the page. I recently did this with a client. He told me, I live paycheck to paycheck. I cannot invest. We did the audit. We found $600 a month going to subscriptions he forgot about. Eating out at lunch and buying premium gas for a car that does not need it. $600 a month. Do you know what $600 a month is? In the S&P 500, over 30 years, that is over $1 million. He was not eating lunch. He was eating his retirement. He was eating his freedom. You need to get aggressive. This is the scorched earth phase. For the next 30 days, you are on a financial fast. No eating out, no alcohol, no new clothes, no entertainment that costs money. But that sounds miserable, you say. Good. It should feel miserable. You need to detox. You need to reset your dopamine receptors so you stop getting high on spending money. You are broke. I do not care if you make $100,000 a year. If you have no assets and you have consumer debt, you are broke. You do not have the luxury of fun spending. You are a business now. You are You Incorporated. And You Incorporated is currently operating at a loss. We are slashing the budget. The goal is to get your burn rate, the amount of money you need to survive, as low as humanly possible. Why? 2 reasons. 1, it builds cash reserves fast. 2, it lowers your fear. When you know you can survive on $1,500 a month, you're no longer terrified of losing your job. You become dangerous. You become willing to take risks. And risks are where the money is. Now let us talk about the chains around your ankles. Debt, specifically high-interest consumer debt, credit cards, personal loans, car payments on cars you cannot afford. This is cancer. If you have a credit card with a $5,000 balance at 20% interest, you're not working for yourself. You're working for the bank. You're a slave. Every hour you work, the first 20 minutes belongs to Visa. You cannot invest your way out of bad debt. I hear this all the time. Should I put money in the stock market? I expect a 7% return, but you have credit card debt charging you 22%. Do the math. You are losing 15% net. You are voluntarily walking backwards. We are going to use the Avalanche method for this speed run. There is another method called the snowball, where you pay the smallest balance first to feel good. We do not care about feeling good. We care about math. We care about speed. You list your debts by interest rate, highest to lowest. You attack the one with the highest interest rate with every single dollar you squeezed out of your bleed stop audit. You pay the minimums on everything else. You throw the kitchen sink at the top one, sell things, walk around your house. Do you have a guitar you do not play? Sell it. Do you have designer clothes you wear once a year? Sell them. Do you have a gaming console that distracts you from making money? Sell it. If it is not nailed down, it is liquid capital. Turn your stuff back into money. Take that money and fire it at the debt. I want you to get angry at your debt. Personify it. That debt is a thief living in your house, eating your food, and laughing at you. Kick him out. Let us talk about cars. The silent wealth killer. If you're driving a car that is worth more than 50% of your annual income, you are insane. But I need a safe car, you say. A 2010 Toyota Camry is safe. You do not need a new BMW to be safe. You bought that car to impress people at stoplights who do not know you and do not care about you. Sell the car. Downgrade. Free up the payment. Imagine you have a $500 car payment. If you invest that $500 a month instead of giving it to a car dealership, in 10 years, you have nearly $100,000. Is that new car smell worth $100,000 to you? Is it? If you want to win the money speed run, you have to stop caring about status. Status is a game for losers. Wealth is a game for winners. Status is looking rich. Wealth is being rich. They are usually opposites, okay? We stop the bleeding. We are attacking the debt. But here is the hard truth. You cannot save your way to millions. Frugality has a limit. You can only cut your expenses to 0. You cannot cut them below 0. But income? Income has no limit. Income is infinite. You can make $10,000 a month. You can make $100,000 a month. The marketplace does not have a cap on how much it will pay you if you provide value. Most personal finance advice focuses on saving because saving is easy to teach. Do not buy coffee. Easy. Making more money is hard, but it is necessary. In this speed run, we focus on high velocity income. We're not talking about getting a 3% raise at your job next year. That is too slow. We're talking about adding a second stream of income within 30 days. There are 2 ways to do this. Labor, which is trading time for money, and value, which is trading results for money. In the beginning, you might have to do labor, Uber, DoorDash, manual labor. This is fine for emergency cash. If you need $500 this weekend to pay off a card, go drive Uber. Swallow your pride and do it. But that is a trap if you stay there. You only have 24 hours in a day. You cannot scale time. You need to move to value. Value is the service business. This is where you solve a specific problem for a specific person, and they pay you for the result, not just the hours. Let us look at the $0 startup. You have no money, you have a laptop and a phone. What can you do? You can write, you can edit video, you can manage social media, you can clean houses, you can detail cars, you can walk dogs. But those are not glamorous, you say. You know what is glamorous? Seeing $10,000 hit your bank account. The most unsexy businesses often make the most money. Let us take car detailing as an example of a money speedrun business. You do not need a shop. You do not need a van. You need a bucket, soap, a vacuum, and some rags. Maybe a $50 investment. You go to a wealthy neighborhood. You knock on doors. You say, "Hi, I'm detailing cars in the neighborhood today. I see your SUV in the driveway. I can make it look brand new inside and out for $150. I can start right now. If you knock on 20 doors, one person will say yes. It takes you 3 hours. You made $50 an hour. That is more than you make at your day job. Do that on Saturday and Sunday. 2 cars a day. That is $600 a weekend. That is $2,400 a month. You just gave yourself a $28,000 a year raise with a bucket and a sponge. The problem is not that you do not know how. The problem is you're too proud to do the work. You want the passive income. You want the crypto moonshot. Passive income is a myth for beginners. You have to build active income first. You have to build the machine before the machine can run itself. You have the bucket, you have the sponge, you have the first few $100s in your own pocket. But do not get comfortable. Comfort is the enemy of speed. If you stay at the level of manual labor, you will eventually burn out. Your body will break before your bank account overflows. The car detailing example was just to prove a point. It was to prove that money is everywhere if you are willing to sweat. But we are not trying to sweat forever. We are trying to scale. To do that, we need to move from labor to leverage. We need to talk about skill stacking. Most people have one skill, and usually it is a low-value skill. They know how to use Excel. They know how to answer emails. They know how to stock shelves. These are commodities. If I can replace you with a college student who I can train in 2 days, you do not have leverage. You are disposable. To become wealthy fast, you must become rare. You must stack skills on top of each other until you are the only person in the room who can do what you do. Let us say you are a video editor. There are millions of video editors. You go on Upwork and you're competing with a guy in a basement who charges $5 an hour. You cannot win a price war. A price war is a race to the bottom, and the bottom is poverty. So you stack a skill. You don't just edit videos, you learn retention psychology. Now you are a retention specialist. You know exactly when to cut the clip to keep the viewer watching. Now you're worth $50 an hour. But we are not done. You stack another skill. You learn YouTube SEO and thumbnail design. Now you are a channel strategist. You don't just edit the video, you package it, you title it, and you guarantee it gets views. Now you are not competing with the $5 guy. You are in a league of one. You can charge $500 per video because you are not selling editing. You are selling growth. You are selling money. This applies to everything. If you're a writer, learn sales. Now you are a copywriter. If you are a personal trainer, learn nutrition and blood work analysis. Now you are a biooptimization coach. Every layer of skill you add is a zero you add to your income. Stop learning things that do not pay. I see people learning how to knit or how to play video games at a high level. Unless you are in the top 0.1% of gamers, that is a hobby. We do not have time for hobbies during a speed run. We have time for acquisition. Ask yourself right now, what is the one skill I can add to my arsenal this weekend that will double my hourly rate? Find it, learn it, execute it. Now, you have the skill, you have the offer. How do you get the money? You hunt. This is where 99% of people fail. They build a website, they design a logo, they print business cards. They sit by the phone and wait. They are waiting for permission. They are waiting to be picked. Listen to me closely. No one is coming to save you. No one is going to knock on your door and hand you a check. You have to kick down the door. You have to go out and take the business. This is called outbound sales, or as I like to call it, the hunt. You need clients. Clients are people with money and problems. Your job is to find them and tell them you can solve their problem. But you are terrified of rejection. You're scared to send a cold email. You're scared to make a cold call. You think it is annoying. Let me reframe that for you. If you saw a man drowning in a lake and you knew how to swim, would you hesitate to jump in? No, you would save him. If a business is drowning because their marketing sucks or their operations are messy and you have the skill to fix it, you have a moral obligation to reach out. You are not annoying them. You are saving them. But you have to do it right. Most people send lazy messages. They say, "Hi, my name is John. Give me money." Delete, block, ignore. To win, you must lead with value. You must give before you ask. Here is the exact script for a cold email that actually works. You are going to use this for your service business. Subject line, keep it short. Question about your video or question about your website. Body, hi name. I was looking at your website and I noticed a broken link on your checkout page. I know this is probably losing you sales, so I went ahead and made a mock-up of how it should look to fix the conversion rate. I attached it here for free. If you want me to implement this for you, I can do it this afternoon. If not, no worries. Keep the mock-up. Do you see the difference? You did not ask for a job. You proved you could do the job before they even hired you. You gave them value up front. This is the law of reciprocity. When you give someone something, they feel psychologically obligated to give back. Even if they don't hire you, they will reply. And a reply is a conversation. And a conversation is where the money is closed. I want you to send 10 of these messages a day. not 1, 10. It is a numbers game. If you send 10 a day, that is 300 a month. If you are terrible at sales and you only close 1%, that is 3 new clients a month. If each client pays you $2,000, you're making $6,000 a month on the side. That is $72,000 a year from sending emails from your couch. The only thing stopping you is your ego. You are afraid of being told no. Get over it. A no cannot hurt you. Being broke hurts you. Now, let us talk about time. I can hear the excuses already, but I work 9 to 5. I have kids. I'm tired. I do not have time to start a business. Shut up. You have the same 24 hours as Elon Musk. You have the same 24 hours as Beyonce. The difference is not time. The difference is focus. Your bleeding hours. Every hour you spend scrolling TikTok is a vote for poverty. Every hour you spend watching a ball game is a vote for staying average. You need to adopt the vampire shift. This is the schedule for the money speed run. You have your day job. That is from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. That pays your bills. That keeps the lights on. That is your survival. But your life actually begins at 6 p.m. From 6 p.m. to 10 p.m., you are building your freedom. That is 4 hours a day. That is 20 hours a week. That is a part-time job. But this job pays you in equity. It pays you in future freedom. Here is the schedule. You get home at 5:30. You do not sit on the couch. You do not turn on the TV. You eat for fuel, not for entertainment. By 6 p.m., you are at your desk. Phone in the other room. Door closed. Deep work. Hour 1, learning. You're studying that new skill we talked about. Hour 2, outreach. You're sending those 10 cold emails. You're hunting. Hour 3 and 4, fulfillment. You're doing the work for the clients you closed last week. At 10 p.m., you stop. You go to sleep. You need 8 hours. I'm not one of those gurus who tells you to sleep 4 hours a night. Sleep is when your brain repairs itself. If you're sleep deprived, your decision-making IQ drops. Poor decisions lose money. You need to be sharp. But wait, what about the weekends, you ask? The weekend is not for relaxing. The weekend is for catching up to the people who started 10 years before you. Saturday is a work day. Sunday is a work day. You can relax when you have $1 million in the bank. Until then, you are at war. You are fighting for your life. Does this sound extreme? Good. It is extreme because being average is dangerous. Being average means you are one bad recession away from losing everything. I'm trying to make you bulletproof. Let's review where we are. You have cut your expenses to the bone. You have sold your junk to pay off high interest debt. You have picked a service business. You are stacking skills to increase your hourly rate. You are hunting for clients with cold outreach. You are working the vampire shift from 6 to 10. You are doing everything right. But there is a trap waiting for you. A trap that kills more entrepreneurs than failure. That trap is lifestyle creep. The moment you start making extra money, the devil on your shoulder will start whispering. He will say, "You worked hard. You deserve a treat. Go buy that car. Go on that vacation. Upgrade your apartment." Do not listen to him. That is the voice of poverty trying to drag you back down. When you start making money, you feel rich. But you are not rich. You are just liquid. There is a difference. Rich is wealth. Liquid is just cash flow. If you spend your cash flow on liabilities, you are digging a hole. During the money speed run, every single dollar of profit from your side hustle has a destination. It does not go to your checking account. It does not go to your pocket. It goes to the fortress. The fortress is your investment portfolio. We are not investing to get rich quick. We are investing to stay rich forever. We built the income fast with the business. Now we secure the income slowly with assets. This brings us to the next phase. Capital deployment. How to invest like the top 1%. Most of you are investing like amateurs. You're picking stocks because you saw a video on the internet. You're buying crypto because your cousin said it is going to the moon. That is not investing. That is gambling. If you want to gamble, go to Las Vegas. At least there you get free drinks while you lose your money. We are here to build a dynasty. We need to understand the difference between growth and preservation. In your 20s and 30s, you are in the growth phase. You can afford to take calculated risks, but not stupid risks. We are going to build a portfolio that consists of 3 buckets. Bucket 1, the boring base. This is your S&P 500. This is your total market index funds. This is the money you put away and never touch for 40 years. It grows at 8 to 10%. It is unsexy. It is boring. And it will make you a millionaire guaranteed if you just leave it alone. Bucket 2, the asymmetric bets. This is where we put 5 to 10% of our net worth. These are things like high-risk crypto or individual tech stocks or angel investing. These are bets where you could lose it all, but if you win 10x or 100x. The key here is position sizing. Never put money here that you cannot afford to set on fire. Bucket 3, the cash flow engine, real estate. This is the end game. Once you have piled up enough cash from your business, you dump it into physical assets that pay you rent. But do not start here. Real estate requires capital. Build the capital with your service business first. Now, I want to address a specific psychological barrier that is probably hitting you right now. Imposter syndrome. You are listening to this and thinking, who am I to charge $500? Who am I to start a business? I'm just a normal person. Listen to me. Everyone is just a normal person. The CEO of the company you work for, normal person. The billionaires on the cover of Forbes, normal people. They just have better information and better habits than you. They are not smarter than you. They are just bolder than you. Imposter syndrome is actually a good sign. It means you are pushing into new territory. If you do not feel like an imposter, you are not growing. You are staying in your comfort zone. Embrace the fear. Do it scared. Send the email with your hands shaking. Ask for the money with your voice cracking. Just do it. Courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is acting in spite of fear. We are entering the final stretch of the speedrun strategy. We have covered the mindset, the audit, the income, the schedule, and the investing. But there is one variable we haven't touched, the environment. You can be the fastest race car driver in the world, but if you drive a Ferrari into a swamp, you are not going anywhere. Your environment is the swamp. Look at the 5 people you spend the most time with. Are they talking about ideas? Are they talking about business? Or are they talking about people? Are they complaining about the weather? Are they complaining about politics? If your friends are broke, it is very hard for you to get rich. This is not about being mean. This is about physics. Energy is contagious. If you're trying to run at 100 miles per hour and your friends are walking, they will drag you down. You do not have to cut them off completely, but you need to curate your circle. You need to find a tribe of runners. Where do you find them? They are in the books. They are in the podcasts. They are in the online communities. During this 30-day reset, you might need to be lonely. Loneliness is the price of admission to the top 1%. You have to be willing to walk alone for a while so you can walk with kings later. We are going to pivot now to the final and most important component of the money speedrun, automation and systems. You have started the business, you are making money, you are tired, you cannot work the vampire shift forever. You will break. The goal is not to have a second job forever. The goal is to build a business that runs without you. This is how you reclaim your time. This is how you actually win. To do this, you need to document everything. The first time you do a task, you do it. The second time you do it, you write down the steps. The third time, you hire someone else to do it using your steps. This is called an SOP, Standard Operating Procedure. You are building a manual for your business. Let's go back to the car detailing. You're cleaning 2 cars a day. You're maxed out. You can't clean more cars. So you write down exactly how you greet the customer, exactly how you wash the tires, exactly how you upsell the wax. Then you find a teenager who wants to make money. You pay him $15 an hour. You give him your manual. You give him your equipment. You send him to the job. The customer pays you $150. You pay the kid $45 for 3 hours. You keep $105. You did not wash the car. You sat at home. You made $105 for owning the system. That is the transition from self-employed to business owner. Self-employed means you own a job. Business owner means you own a system. Your goal in the money speedrun is to race to the system as fast as possible. Because the system is what gives you freedom. Money is not freedom. Time is freedom. Money is just the tool we use to buy time. Never forget that. We are not chasing green paper. We are chasing empty calendars. We are chasing the ability to wake up on a Tuesday and say, I don't feel like working today, and your bank account still goes up. That is the victory condition. That is what we are fighting for. The honeymoon is over. You are 2 weeks into the speedrun. The initial burst of adrenaline has faded. The motivation video you watched on YouTube has worn off. Now it is just you, the work, and the silence. This is the moment where most people quit. They call this the dip. It is easy to start. Starting is sexy. Everyone loves announcing they are starting a business, but nobody likes the middle. The middle is messy. The middle is hard. The middle is where you send 50 emails and get 0 replies. The middle is where you work all weekend while your friends are at a party, and you wonder if it is worth it. I'm here to tell you that the middle is the filter. The universe is testing you. It is asking, how bad do you want this? Do you want it enough to keep going when it is not fun anymore? If you quit now, you prove that you were never serious. You were just a tourist. Tourists come, take a few pictures, and go home. Empire builders live in the dirt until the castle is built. Embrace the boredom. Success is not a highlight reel. Success is doing the boring work over and over again until the compound interest kicks in. Let us talk about leveling up. You have been playing the game on easy mode. You are charging low prices. You are begging for clients. It is time to flip the script. We need to talk about price psychology. Most of you are terrified to raise your prices. You think if you double your price, you will lose all your clients. The opposite is true. When you charge more, you attract better clients. Think about it. Who is the worst customer? The guy who pays you $20? He complains. He calls you at midnight. He demands a refund. Why? Because $20 is a lot of money to him. Now think about the guy who pays you $2,000. He sends the wire. He says, "Great, let me know when it is done." He trusts you. He values his time more than his money. You want the second client? You want the high-ticket client? How do you justify charging 10 times more? You do not change the product. You change the positioning. You're not selling a service. You are selling a transformation. If I sell you a shovel, it is worth $20. If I sell you the ability to find buried treasure, that shovel is worth $10,000. It is the same shovel. But the outcome is different. Stop selling the drill. Start selling the hole. Stop selling the website design. Start selling the customer conversion system. When you walk into a negotiation, you need to understand one rule. The person who cares the least wins. If you need the money, they can smell it on you. Desperation stinks. It lowers your status. You need to walk into every sales call with the mindset of a doctor. A doctor does not beg you to take the surgery. He diagnoses the problem, prescribes the solution, and tells you the price. If you do not want it, fine. Die. That is the energy you need. Here is how I can fix your business. It costs $5,000. Do you want to proceed? If they say no, you say, "Okay," and you hang up. You do not chase. Chasing is for prey. You are a predator. As you start making real money, a new enemy appears, the tax man. I'm not a CPA, and this is not legal advice, but I will tell you how. The rich play the game. The poor earn money, pay taxes, and spend what is left. The rich earn money, spend everything they can on the business, and pay taxes on what is left. It is a completely different equation. You need to stop operating as a sole proprietor. You need an entity, an LLC, a corporation. When you are an individual, you are vulnerable. If you get sued, they take your house. When you are an entity, you have a corporate veil. The business takes the hit, not you. Plus, the business gets to write things off. That laptop you are listening to this on? Business expense? The internet bill? Business expense? That dinner where you discussed strategy with a partner? Business expense. You need to legally minimize your taxable income. Every dollar you send to the government is a dollar that cannot work for you. It cannot buy inventory. It cannot buy ads. It cannot buy freedom. Get a good accountant, not a cheap one. A cheap accountant will save you $500 in fees and cost you $5,000 in missed deductions. Let's pivot to your biological hardware. You're trying to run a high-performance race car, but you are putting sludge in the gas tank. You cannot win the money speed run if your brain is foggy. We need to talk about bio-leverage. Energy is your number one asset. If you're tired at 2 p.m., you are losing money. If you have brain fog, you are making bad decisions. Sugar is the enemy. Carbs are the enemy during the workday. When you eat a heavy lunch, your body diverts blood from your brain to your stomach to digest it. That is why you feel like falling asleep at your desk. Fast during the day, drink water, drink black coffee, keep the insulin low, keep the brain sharp, eat your feast at night when the work is done. You need to treat your body like a billion-dollar piece of machinery, because that is what it is. If I gave you a brand new Lamborghini, would you put cheap gas in it? Would you leave it out in the rain? No. So why do you treat your body like a rental car? Sleep is non-negotiable, but how you wake up matters too. Do not look at your phone in the first 30 minutes of the day. The moment you open social media, you are letting the world dictate your mood. You are reacting. You see a bad news story? Now you're anxious. You see someone else winning? Now you're jealous. You have lost the morning before you even got out of bed. Keep the phone off. Own the morning. The first hour is for output, not input. Now, we need to address the people around you again. We talked about cutting off the losers. Now we talk about finding the winners. You need to pay to play. High-level people do not hang out in free Facebook groups. They hang out in exclusive masterminds. They hang out in expensive gyms. They hang out in places where there is a barrier to entry. If you want to meet people who are making $1 million a year, you need to go where they are. Sometimes you have to buy a seat at the table, buy the course. Not for the information, but for the community. Go to the conference. Buy the VIP ticket. The general admission ticket puts you in the crowd. The VIP ticket puts you in the room with the speakers. That extra $500 could lead to a partnership that makes you $50,000. Do not be cheap with your network. Your network is your net worth. That is not just a rhyme. It is a law of physics. Deals happen between friends. If you're not in the circle, you do not get the deal. We are entering the advanced phase of the speed run. You have the cash flow, you have the body, you have the network. Now you need the leverage of media. In the old days, you needed a factory to be powerful. Today, you need an audience. An audience is the new oil. If you have 10,000 people listening to you, You can launch anything. You can launch a book. You can launch a software. You can launch a t-shirt brand. And you will make sales on day one. You need to start documenting your journey. You do not need to be an expert yet. You just need to be a reporter. Hey guys, I'm trying to build this business. Here's what I learned today. Here's what failed. People love the underdog story. They want to see the struggle. If you wait until you are rich to start creating content, nobody will trust you. They will think you're just another guru. But if they see you in the trenches, if they see you when you have 0 followers, they will become super fans. They will root for you. Start a newsletter. Start a YouTube channel. Start a Twitter account. Pick one and master it. Do not try to be everywhere. Be undeniable on one platform. This is your digital real estate. It grows in value while you sleep. A tweet you wrote 3 years ago can still bring you a client today. That is leverage. That is working once and getting paid forever. Let's zoom out. What is the end game here? Why are we doing this? Is it just for a number on a screen? No, it is for optionality, the ability to say no. When you're broke, you have to say yes to everything. You have to say yes to the bad boss. You have to say yes to the bad client. You have to say yes to overtime. Money gives you the power of no. No, I will not work this weekend. No, I do not want to take that project. No, I will not tolerate disrespect. That is the ultimate luxury, the power to walk away. But you have to be careful. As you climb the mountain, the air gets thin. You will get dizzy. You will develop an ego. You will think you are a genius because you made a little bit of money. That is when the market humbles you. Stay paranoid. Only the paranoid survive. The moment you think you have made it, you start dying. There's always someone younger, hungrier, and faster coming for your spot. You have to keep reinventing yourself. You need to operate in seasons. There's a season for planting and a season for harvesting. Right now, you're in a planting season. You're putting seeds in the ground. You're watering them with sweat. You cannot eat the fruit yet. If you try to eat the seeds, you will starve next winter. Delay gratification. The longer you can wait to take your reward, the bigger the reward will be. This is the marshmallow test on steroids. Can you look at $10,000 in your bank account and not touch it? Can you look at it and say, go back to work? If you can do that, you are dangerous. You are unstoppable. Because you cannot be bought. You cannot be distracted. You are a machine designed for one purpose: freedom. We are nearing the end of the hour. You have the blueprint. You have the instructions. But information without action is just entertainment. You just listened to me for 45 minutes. That felt good, right? You felt productive. But you haven't done anything yet. You are still in the same chair. Your bank account is the same. Nothing has changed. The change happens when you turn this audio off. The change happens in the silence that follows. The change happens when you pick up the phone and make the first call. When you open the laptop and write the first line of code. When you list the first item on eBay. I want you to make a contract with yourself right now. Verbalize it. Say it out loud. I will not be in the same place next year. Say it. I refuse to be average. Say it. You need to burn the boats. There's no going back to the old you. The old you is dead. The old you is broke, tired, and scared. The new you is a builder. The new you is a warrior. I'm going to leave you with one final thought. A thought that should haunt you. A thought that should wake you up in the middle of the night. Somewhere out there is a version of you that made all the right choices. A version of you that did not hit snooze. A version of you that did the work. That version of you is living your dream life right now. They are driving the car you want. They are living in the house you want. They have the freedom you want. They are looking at you right now. And they are waiting for you to catch up. Do not let them down. This has been the Money Speedrun. The clock is ticking. Go.